Mammalian Mimalians.
Today, Friday, June 10th, 2016, the Everything is Nothing discussion, or the problem with everything. Hey everybody, I'm Holiday Rob.
I'm Loki Sapfoot. It's happening.
That's right. Nothing. I'm getting yelled at because we're podcasting. Not because we're podcasting.
I had nothing to do with this. I have done nothing wrong.
This is all your fault.
This is between me and responsibility. Yeah.
Fucking responsibility. Always coming into the picture when you don't need it.
You had all day not to forget to do stuff before I even got here.
Right. No, I got distracted because now finally I'm going to be able to do some video work and audio work. And
Rob got a new computer.
Right, which we're not recording on right now, but
no,
eventually.
Still rocking this laptop.
Yeah, 7 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's like 7 years old now, and I think I may have gotten too much cum in the USB ports.
Oh, no.
It seems to not be as...
You should really not... You should not aim for there.
I think some of the semen is also clogging up the air exchange. It seems like the fan is a little crowded. It gets kind of hot these days.
It's something about electronics and proteins that just don't really go together very well.
Yeah, I mean, typically in life, if there's a problem, I just come on it.
I mean, like...
and it seems to solve it.
Frankenstein, it kind of worked a little bit.
I actually haven't read the book. Does Dr. Frankenstein come on the monster?
No,
and that's how he brings him to...
But lightning brings him to life, so it is
that's like Zeus's cum.
Yeah,
Thor's cum.
Yeah. Just zapping the life right into him.
Anyway, this is the problem with everything, and we don't have a guest this week, so...
So that's why we're talking about amazing, awesome things. If you like the amazing, awesome things we talk about on here, why don't you try iTunes?
Yeah. Have you guys heard of iTunes? It's like Apple software, and
it's part of the evil. We're part of the evil empire, man.
Yeah. You just like type in the problem with everything, and then you subscribe, or is that what it's called?
You basically, just press the button. Button pressing is awesome.
And then it just, when you turn on iTunes, that shit'll download, and you'll be like, why is my hard drive full of all this bullshit I don't care about? And the answer to that is the problem with everything with Rob and Loki. Anyway, we don't have a guest, so it's pretty much like this the whole time.
Pretty sporadic discussion of sporadic ideas.
It's
sporadically
semi sequitur at best, I'd say.
Sporadic all over your ear. If you like musings like that and more, you can get them in 140 characters on Twitter. I am at Holiday Rob.
Yeah, I am at Sapfoot on the Twitter. Lots of tongue twisters, and I don't know, that's about it.
You still playing video games? Fuck video games. I'm done with video games.
Yeah,
after they killed my last game, I hate them.
Video games killed my father.
Yeah.
I play that shit. I've been playing a lot of Mario Maker lately.
Awesome.
Send me a message on the Nintendo network, and I'll send you a code. You can play my levels. That sounds fun, right?
That does sound fun.
I'm making a series of levels based on House of a Thousand Corpses. It's the Firefly. Mario visits the Firefly house.
Oh, man. That's horrifying.
Yeah. The only way that it's actually based on it is that I'm naming the levels Firefly House 1, 1, 1, 2.
Cool. Why not?
And then like each boss is gonna be like, it'll be like Firefly House Otis Driftwood. Have to fight the boss.
I'm sure somebody appreciates that.
Captain Spaulding's Murder Ride will probably be a level, I imagine.
Good times. Good times. Yeah. Scary times.
Yeah, so anyway, on the Nintendo, whatever the fuck it's called network, Loki Sapfoot with a W in the middle of Loki. Same thing on Xbox. I play some Xbox One, Rocket League, and whatnot. Loki Sapfoot on there as well. And Rob doesn't like video games anymore. I have a Twitch channel, but my computer can't handle that shit because I came on it too much. And
kids.
So I'm trying to save up for a new PC. If you'd like to help me out so that you can hear me ramble like this while I play video games, you can do so if you go to lokisapfoot.bandcamp.com. You can get my album for free, or you can give me money. whatever kind of donation you want, anything from, I think the minimum is like $1, or you can give me like $10,000 if you want to.
Sweet.
I would gladly accept that.
Yeah.
If you want to be like, what's his name? Martin Shrepfkulk, the Shkreli. You can
Pharma Bro.
I will give you I'll give you the master copy that I have of the album if you want to give me $1 million. Shit, I'll do it for 1,000 at this point. I don't even care.
And you'll be the only one who has those songs forever in perpetuity.
Yeah. Yeah, you give me another, if you give me $1,005,005, I'll take them down from Bandcamp so no one can get them and they'll have to come to you. You'll have exclusive rights.
Yeah. They'll actually have to hang out with you. That's how you do it when you're rich. You buy friends.
I wish I could buy friends. I'm poor. I don't have any friends. I don't even have that option.
I have buy friends. If you are on Facebook, we are on Facebook. You can like us. We have over 120 some likes, which is surprising.
Wow.
It's very exciting. Facebook.com/The Problem With Everything, all smashed together. Not all smashed together, just The Problem With Everything. End quotes.
So confusing.
And upcoming shows or events. I have things coming up. I don't know when they are right now because I don't have a calendar in front of me. And frankly, I've got other things to go do today. So,
stuff you forgot to do earlier.
Stuff apparently. I forgot to do because I'm a superstar like that. And yeah, so no event calendar. We don't have to justify our existence this week.
We will be July 16th. You can find us at the... I need to pay Josh for my booth, but you'll find us at BMG Fan Fest.
Yeah.
That's my other motivation, aside from trying to create a Twitch channel, deluding myself into thinking that will somehow make me produce art, even though it's really just another distraction. Another motivation I have is that we have this BMG Fan Fest, and it'd be cool if I could get a couple like pop culture related pieces made in time for that. Maybe sell a painting.
Hell yeah.
You never know.
It could happen. Why not?
So July 16th at the Doubletree in Albuquerque.
It's going to be a good time.
BMG Fan Fest featuring Rob and Loki.
Goddamn right. And The Problem With Everything.
Lots of other artists and comic book types.
Are you ready for a song? I'm ready for a song.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Let's do a song. So we had a guest on, Billy Belmont. Had technical issues.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that sounded like shit.
Sound-wise, so we'll have to have him back on. But we got to play this song. And
it's awesome.
It's called Lay Beside by Billy Belmont.
Oh. No.
No?
It's too hot.
Yeah, well, you're wearing pants.
Too hot for podcasts. You're not, which is unprofessional at best.
Yeah, no. That's the isn't that part of the charm of like doing things in your own living quarters?
Podcast with your Rodcast.
Only on Robcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you have your own solo podcast, that's got to be the
Robcast.
Slogan. Robcast. Podcast with your Rodcast.
I'm surprised it's not Throbcast.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get a friend on. I was hoping he'd come today, but I was trying to get him on so that we could, I don't know, show this old band's music that I used to do. I was working on a documentary about them. I
think we've spoken of this
20 hours or something of footage. And, yeah, he used to call me Throb. And I remember one night, holiday sale didn't have, we didn't have many. So it was just me, and I was just like, all right, we're going to be Throbbery and the Boys.
Yeah.
I should have gone with something like Highway Throbbery or...
I like Throbbery and the Boys. It's pretty homoerotic.
Right. It totally is.
It's funny.
You're like, what an intricate name for your man piece.
As you may have surmised, we don't have a guest again. Our guest pact, our plan of attack has fallen by the wayside.
But so has a normal schedule of recording.
Yeah, and so has the goddamn ability to exist in the fucking world. It's so hot.
Yeah.
I can't, I won't do things.
I'm not doing this.
I can't. I refuse. It's too hot.
The saving grace has been like about 6 o'clock. It'll cloud over. It's been getting kind of cloudy before sunset,
that's nice.
Which it takes the edge off,
right.
But not if you've been out in it all day and then you're like, I got home, I don't have to go outside again. You're like, oh, now it cooled off. Awesome.
That doesn't help when it's 3 o'clock and I'm worried about like the integrity of the skin on my balls because it's in a puddle all day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm too fat for it to be this hot. Everything's just so uncomfortable.
Do you think the ratio of fat people has to do with climate? So if you're like in Phoenix, there's not a lot of fat people because they're just like, they would just sweat it off.
I don't know. Is there not a lot of fat people in Phoenix?
I don't know. I don't have a clue. I've been to Phoenix, but
it's pretty hot here. We have a lot of fat people.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe not as many as like northern Midwest, area.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense from like people that are from warmer climates have less body fat historically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Things might move too fast now for that to still be accurate. But.
Maybe. But I mean, like, is it created by nature? Are people like thinner in warmer climates because they're like, I don't have to eat as much to stay warm, or I don't know. I'm outdoors more. Like there has to be some kind of correlation. But in this weather, you're not going outside.
Yeah. Well, it's just an adaptation kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you need more body fat, you're gonna retain it over the generations. If you live in the,
I'm like, I'm just staying. I'm staying alive through the winter.
I don't know though. Aren't like Nordic people all super skinny? Isn't that like they're like skinny blonde people? Am I stereotyping?
I don't know.
Are there fat Nordic people? I mean, I'm sure there are, but you know what I'm saying.
They're called royalty.
Yeah.
Like every time you see like a movie or a TV show or something, and royalty is always like chunky.
Right.
They're always a little chunky. They always got a little bit extra.
I mean, they didn't have, Doritos back then. It was harder to be fat. Like even if you had a lot of food, you're eating like actual food.
What would the flavor of Doritos be back then? Like haggis?
Haggis Doritos.
Haggis Doritos. This is sour cream and mutton over here. We have sour cream. Oh, we have it a lot.
Yeah. Especially in the summer, that's really all we have.
Refrigeration hasn't been invented yet. It's a problem. This is like when I like working in a place that has a walk-in freezer. This is my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do this time of the year. And it kind of just came out of nowhere. Like we had a couple of cold days, and then all of a sudden it was like hot, and then we had a couple more cold days, and then it was just hot again.
Is it El Nino or is it the goddamn apocalypse?
It's the weather apocalypse. We've raised the temperature of our ocean and our overall atmosphere enough that you just have to think about, so say the planet's like a thing that's trying to always find homeostasis, that balance, that perfect balance of like where it wants to be at.
The Goldilocks zone.
The mama bear porridge analysis, I think is what it's called.
That's actually what they call, like when they're looking for other planets in the universe that could be habitable.
Yeah.
The parameters for human life are known as the Goldilocks zone, like the temperature and makeup of the atmosphere and whatever distance from the sun or whatever the fuck.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's an actual term.
So that's what we're looking for there, and so is the planet. And so what's going to happen is all those things are going to warm up. The heat shield, which is kind of like what the polar ice caps are going to melt. Like sea levels are going to rise. There's going to be bad times for people for a while and a lot of animals. But what happens? So then all that El Nino happens, and it creates all this water vapor. So you got more clouds. So you get more cloud coverage. Basically, what it's trying to do is create a blanket of clouds to cool itself off and grow more plants and probably kill species in the process. A lot of people are gonna die, but if we don't completely poison everything by then, it could eventually cool down things enough and go back into a state that we're more familiar with, which we'd call, I don't know, the last 500,000 years.
It's like the whole rest of the world, all the other species, all the plants and animals, the flora and fauna.
Yeah.
They all have a place. We just don't. Like, there's sometimes people are like, I don't eat meat, man. And they try to find a place, but it's all just bullshit.
Your vegan friends are bullshit.
Well, I'm not picking on I just use that as the example.
Yeah.
Whatever the, fucking hunters, that's bullshit too. They,
Well, is it bullshit because you're talking about like what Doug Stanhope talks about? Like, it doesn't matter if you have like a if you have a fleet of SUVs, if your one baby is worse than that fleet of SUVs.
Yeah, abortion is green, that whole thing. I'm saying, like, other animals just naturally do a thing.
Yeah.
And we sit around trying to figure out what to do. And then we'd make a choice, which, however, we are deluded into thinking that it's, I'm doing the noble thing,
Yeah.
I'm, you know, feeding my family, or I'm not eating meat because whatever, I don't, you know. It's all just kind of arbitrary bullshit that you decided. We don't have, like, an innate drive
Anymore?
I don't know if anymore. I don't know. Maybe we did. Maybe we never did. I don't know.
I always call that the base instinct or drive or whatever the biological imperative. So it's made up of two things.
Fucking.
Yeah, that's one of them. But the first one is survival. So you have a survival and getting down.
Well, getting down's an extension of survival.
Well,
You know, on a larger scale.
Yeah, I mean, it's an outside of yourself act where you're still trying to create something from yourself.
It's pretty
continue,
fucking egotistical.
to continue living.
I'm gonna make a little version of me.
But all
They're fucking assholes.
all things work on that. All things that, you know, can spawn another thing of themselves off. Like so it's an old, you know, anything that we have in common with any other living creatures are just like old things.
We're talking about like instinctual.
Yeah, they're old behaviors that, you know, are innate, I guess, to existence, at least in this realm. Oh, now let's not talk about realms, because then you're gonna start talking about dimensions and, you know, like all that shit is like.
How much pot did we smoke before this podcast? I'm already.
I smotted no
shit
poke.
Shit is out there. Poking the smot.
No, but I don't know. I always bring that up because I'm like, if you can start from that base, then you can start building like philosophical arguments and stuff like that about I don't know, what could be man's place or whatever, you know, like what? Yeah, but you're right. We don't have like
to me, the fact that we have to ask that question is proof that we don't really have a place. Otherwise, we would just fall into place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like deer don't fucking sit around stroking their chins, worrying, turning their fur gray because they don't know what they're doing with their lives. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they do. Maybe their vocabulary is just shitty. Maybe that's why they're always like
sucks.
That's why they said they're doing that at you, and you're like, I can't understand you, dear. And they're like, don't eat the purple ones, man. Something like that. What would a deer, a doe or a buck sound like if they were talking to you?
I feel like they'd be kind of like fucking kind of sketchy, and
right?
they'd kind of talk
like,
fast, and then they'd look around and they'd be like
they've never bought drugs before, so they're gonna do it for the first time.
Yeah, or they've been buying lots of drugs. They've been smoking them.
Too many of the wrong ones.
Looking around in the forest, and they just dart off in a direction, man.
Lights.
I feel like a deer would be very jumpy and concerned and fucking uptight,
and just stop whenever they see something bright. Light.
Yeah, they seem upset.
Yeah, they are upset, man. There's weird metal boxes flying through places where they used to hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That doesn't really affect them. Except when they run into them.
Right, I was going to say, unless they get in the way of them.
Man, you know, I can't remember the stats because I don't remember numbers and shit, but
yeah,
a shit ton of deer get hit on the road. It's like the leading cause of car accidents.
Single car accidents or something? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I mean, I guess that's not a very interesting thing to talk about if I don't have the number.
No, but...
Yeah, man, a lot of deer do get hit by cars.
But I know I've almost hit one, and I honked at it, and then Kayla, like, yelled at me. She's like, don't honk at it, it'll just run out in front of you. I'm like, yeah, but if it's loud and flying fast at you, maybe you won't run into it. I don't know.
I hit a deer. We talked about that, right? That happened last year. Yeah, we were doing the podcast. We talked about it. Fucking.
But they don't remember.
Stupid ass deer.
Where were you driving? Washington?
I was in Oregon at the time.
Oregon?
Yeah.
You were on the Oregon Trail?
And we had just eaten at the Oasis Cafe, which is the fucking bomb. I don't remember the name of the town. I don't even know if it's in a town. It's in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. Yeah. But it's fucking... If I had a private jet, I would go there like once a week. I'd build a runway next to the restaurant.
Just take a helicopter.
I don't know.
Or an Osprey.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd have a private Osprey.
Yeah, if we're gonna dream, might as well dream big here. The flying cars kind of operate like Ospreys.
There's flying cars.
There's an Italian company that's trying to make I guess a consumer-based flying car, and it's it runs on the same principle as an Osprey. It's got two propellers on each side of it. Because I was like, how are you gonna fly this thing? And it's like, nope, you can just levitate it up and down and then fly. And that's pretty sweet.
I don't know. That seems like on a two-dimensional plane, we have a lot of trouble not smashing into each other in cars. When it's full X, Y, and Z axis going on,
you get real worried.
I don't trust. Yeah. It's actually, when I'm driving, I think about how amazing it is that there's not accidents every 2 seconds.
Well, maybe
because everyone's fucking retarded.
No, they're stupid. I have been really mean to my car in the last week because I can't stand the fucking way people drive in Albuquerque. They don't pay attention. I've had like a coworker whose friend got hit by some dumb fuck who was, like on painkillers and alcohol. 2 people got killed, actually, just like right up the way.
Jesus.
On I-25.
Our buddy Josh from a couple of podcasts.
Yeah, got
I don't think that one's up anymore.
Run over. But yeah, like they suck around here, and I've been mean to my car.
Is that an around here thing, or is that like a human thing?
No, it is, because like I like, of all the things you can say about LA traffic is like at least those fuckers drive like they're going somewhere. At least they drive with like purpose and shit.
But they're like too far the other way, right? It's like way too cutthroat and crazy and fucking dangerous.
I don't know. I've enjoyed the shit out of it.
I must be one of the shitty Albuquerque drivers because I'm just like, those people, they're just too fast.
I mean, it does feel like
the tailgating.
It does feel like people are pushing you, but if you can trust that everybody else is like as good a driver as you,
but how can you? That's what I'm saying.
I guess because I've never dealt with the things in LA that I've dealt with here. Like very like and it isn't just necessarily specific to Albuquerque. Washington drivers are a pain in the ass too. Like going through Oregon and Washington, they fucking can't get out of the left lane.
Yeah,
they're fucking slow as shit. But I mean that's here too. But what I attribute it to is just like small town driving. Like everybody's like, it's just small town driving. I can drive over. Like Bernalillo is the clusterfuck of it all. Cause like through there, everybody still drives like it's a small town. And it just like around there in general,
just does whatever they want with no concern for who else is on the road.
Right, and then you have like out of towners like Santa Fe and Albuquerque driving through there. And then you have Rio Rancho, which it connects, who are also notoriously bad drivers. So I've been told. I don't know. I mean, it's Rio Rancho.
It's all just Albuquerque.
Right?
I mean, I don't know that there's a difference between Rio Rancho and Albuquerque drivers. Maybe in like the valley. Where it's,
or I think they also try and like paint West Siders as the same, or like the whole of the West Side is, I don't know, an armpit of...
I mean, it is. But like drivers wise, I don't know that it's that different.
Right. I don't know. But yeah, I've noticed a difference. I feel like San Francisco is a little more like no rules, but no rules where that's the worst place I've ever driven. I haven't driven Manhattan or DC or Baltimore. I've been in Baltimore traffic before,
I didn't feel like... I guess I didn't drive that much in San Francisco, but the driving didn't feel bad, but the parking is fucking impossible.
Oh, no, yeah. But between that and LA, the parking is fucked.
LA, I feel like the parking in LA wasn't as bad as San Francisco.
No.
Because there's still more real estate in the LA area.
Yeah.
San Francisco can't grow.
Right.
It's on an island.
There's nothing.
Like,
there's
not.
There's no more. There's no more. We don't have any more.
Right.
Well, how about this? No, we can't take any more.
And the steepness in San Francisco is like...
I found a place like that in LA though. We went down one of those, we went over this hill trying to get to this place to eat breakfast, and there was like 1 or 2 more of those hills like that, and I just was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that to my car. We had like a full, it was like totally packed, and I went up this hill and I was like, this has to end. I was like, it's gonna hopefully not be as dramatic. And then the drop was just like, it was almost like I couldn't do it without scraping the front. And I was like, no, we're not.
Why don't they just blow that up and make it flat?
I know, right? They've already built houses all over the hills, all over, sacred Indian burial ground. Who fucking cares? Just blow the fucker up. Who cares?
Words, words, words.
That's all this episode has been, but...
That's all any of them are. Well, there's music, too.
Yeah, which is what we're going to bring to your face holes right now. The
side of your
face.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're side head holes, but they're holes in a head. And
do whales have ears?
I think everything has ears.
I wish I had a blowhole.
Why not, man?
Just another hole to put dicks in.
But the unfortunate thing would be like it would be your belly button, right? You know that. Like it would just be in the most inconvenient place. So it looked like you pissed on yourself all the time. Like when
you'd be in the water anyway.
When you had a cold. Oh, yeah, I guess there's that with your logic and shit.
If I had a blowhole, I would be an aquatic creature, Rob. God. Anyway, let's play a song.
Imagine those sounds, but then imagine these sounds from Sinister Veil. We had Ruben Vale, the guitarist and vocalist, and
his cohort, Kristen Rad.
Yeah, the violinist. And this song is them doing their thing here live in our tiny little problem hole, which is not a blowhole, unfortunately.
No, not as cool. Well, it's probably, I don't know. It might be.
Yeah.
What's cooler, a blowhole or a problem hole? I'd like to think we stack up against a blowhole pretty well.
Pretty much. So this next song is Nature Baby by Sinister Veil.
Anyway, fucking deer. It was dusk, and I saw a deer like on the left side of the road.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if it was gonna come back my way. What is that?
Is that you?
I don't know.
I thought it was me. Oh, it is me.
Damn it, Rob.
Wow.
And as I slowed down, a deer jumped over the guardrail on the right, and I couldn't stop fast enough.
Yikes.
It just tumbled. I still remember its face in my face. It looked very concerned.
Is this the end of John Deere?
What the fuck is going on? And there were some kids in the car. They were pretty freaked out.
Yeah.
I had to crawl out of the passenger side the rest of the trip.
Damn.
It was rough.
Damn.
There was guts and, well, not guts, but sinew and fur on the fender.
Oh, man.
Stuck to it the rest of the trip. Pretty good times.
Should have grabbed it, bled it dry, and some good eating.
It ran off. I didn't feel confident in my ability to grab it at that point.
I don't eat stupid deer. I don't eat stupid. A deer gets hit by a car. I'm not eating it.
I only eat smart animals.
It's a stupid animal.
I only eat dogs and pigs.
I only eat chess playing dogs and football guessing winner octopi.
Yeah. And babies.
Yeah. Oh,
human babies
they're like a dime a dozen. No, seriously, my friend Maurice, he'll sell you a dozen for a dime.
Go to babiesfromreese.com.
Oh, God.
It's on the dark web.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about that last time, right?
What?
The puppeteer from.
Oh,
from like Reno or
something.
something.
We don't have anything. I have nothing to talk about. All I do is go to work and wait to die. Like, what business have I doing a podcast weekly? What am I going to speak about? I have nothing to offer.
You have adventures. Things happen to you when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
I saw a video of it.
Yeah, but I don't remember them because I'm too high to remember the dream I had.
Oh, man. Yeah. Used to have bizarre dreams. Let's go back to the human condition. So we've established that
life is pain.
Boning and surviving are the two
Yeah.
base instincts. So,
Right.
So I'd say we've got that down. We're a pretty dominant species. We're like a bacteria infested orb right now.
It all comes back to food and puss.
Two great things to eat, I guess.
Great things to stick your dick in, depending on the food, apparently.
Oh man, on Peep Show they were like, they were doing this game with melons where it's like you put a hole in the melon and then whoever can keep the melon on the longest.
Well, like no hands.
Yeah, I think is the game. And
That seems difficult. I was picturing a watermelon. It must not have been. I mean, that would.
well, like little
work.
little watermelons maybe.
It would have to be like a honeydew melon, something lighter, something less dense with a thinner rind, I think.
Right. It was funny though. Like the main dude's hookup was about to eat it, and he's like, "That's not good melon." She's like, "Oh, looks like somebody already started this. It's not good melon."
Like that movie where the kid fucks the pie. That doesn't seem like the worst idea if you're hard up, you know?
Right.
But you should like put a plastic bag or something, because you're first of all, you're not going to get any traction in pie, right? And then second, it's going to like stick to you. And
You don't remember being a young teenage boy where you could do it, you could touch anything. You could be like, different temperature water, bung.
anything
What happened?
would,
Why did that happen? I don't understand what's going on.
I'm not saying like you wouldn't stay erect throughout the act of the pie fucking. I'm
Yeah.
just saying for it to be a worthwhile experience. I mean, you might even arrive at completion without some sort of plastic bag, but think it through. You know, you don't just stick your dick in a pie. I don't know.
You're listening to The Problem with Everything.
That's my major criticism of that film.
Your information podcast about all things food fucking related.
I bet there is a podcast out there that's just about
I'm
fucking
sure.
food.
I'm sure. I'm like, could you imagine doing like a fetish podcast, any kind of fetish, or all fetishes? This is
At least a podcast about fucking food is about something. We don't even have that.
no way, man. We're awesome. I watched.
Oh yeah, we're awesome, but I'm just.
I watched 30 Days a Night. Have you ever seen that?
Is that like a vampire thing?
It is a vampire
It's a comic
thing.
book, right?
It was a comic book.
Yeah.
I think it was Dark Horse put it out. And but I like the film. I've never read the comic. I think I'm going to read the comic sometime, but I hadn't seen the
I
film.
think I've seen that, but I don't really remember.
Weta Workshop, the guys who did Lord of the Rings, did the effects in that. And those vampires are scary. They're super strong and super fast, and they super don't like people, except for eating. They love doing that. But it was really funny because I hadn't seen it in so long. It's like Josh Hartnett, the dude with the forward hair comb, and Melissa George, who I don't know how I could tell you what else she's been in. She's been in other things, but it's mostly like rom-com stuff that I would not watch. So I don't know what else she's done. But they're like really good together. But he's so like soft-spoken. He's not like Rick, really. You know, like Rick. I don't know. Rick's never been like a yeller. He's not like Shane. This is fucking bullshit,
That's
man.
what makes him the better leader.
And but he is like authoritative.
Right.
He's like,
He can calmly scare the shit out of you so
Yeah.
that you know not to cross him.
right. And Josh Hartnett's a little more. He's honestly like boyish in this. He's like very quiet, and there are parts of the film where you would have to be quiet, like when they're hiding from these vampires. So basically what happens is the premise is it takes place in Barrow, Alaska, the northernmost
Right.
town, and every year there's like 30 days where the sun doesn't rise, and so these vampires, you know, come in on a ship, which they probably ate all the people in there and then steered it towards whatever they could find, and so they set it up so nobody can leave, nobody can call out for help, you know, and that's basically your premise. So they have like,
So the town is just now their hunting ground.
yep,
Yeah.
it's just a refrigerator. Let's raid the refrigerator, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that.
it's absolute. I think I've always found it absolutely horrifying. It's such a well done flick. Like it has a feel to it, and it has a vibe, and it has, you know, something interesting, you know, that you haven't necessarily seen before. I mean, we've seen like super strong zombies, 28 Days Later,
right.
super fast zombies. Oh man,
So people often debate, like, if there were zombies, would it be the fast zombies or the slow zombies? I think that you would just start, like, so if I died right now and
Yeah.
became a zombie,
Yeah.
freshly after death, I'd basically have the abilities that I have now,
Right.
except that I don't fatigue, which
Right.
would make me way stronger and
Right.
faster, because I would just go and go and go until I passed out,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I guess zombies don't even breathe, or do they breathe? They moan. I don't know.
Respirate.
But anyway, I think you'd start out that way. So you would start out just full on sprinting, but then
Right.
as you're decaying, you would
As the body-
become more of the shuffle zombie.
Yeah. As the body breaks down, I could see
that's
that.
my theory.
I don't
on
see.
how it
I
would
don't see
work.
why not. That seems to make the most sense. A fresh body is gonna.
Right. And that's if I was writing a zombie story, I would be cool because I could have both types.
The thing about super strong undead in general is that like you still have to obey the laws of physics, unfortunately. So like lifting a car is only as good as your zombie's muscle, tendons, and bones. So if they start breaking down,
But you always hear about that shit where like women lift cars off of babies or
Right,
whatever.
right.
I don't know if any of that's true, but you always hear those stories.
But imagine like lifting 3 cars with that, or 3 or 4 or 5 cars with that same set of body parts, and eventually they would break.
Are you insinuating that normally women can't lift cars?
I'm saying nobody normally. Okay, so
I was actually talking to myself. Sorry.
I was thinking about this. What I was thinking about, or what I always think about, is bouldering. So it's those climbers who like do boulders because they like the upside
in the
down.
cars?
No.
Oh,
They like climb boulders.
okay.
Because they're like climbers and they like the challenge and they like the naturalness of it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But there's always like little like pieces of aggregate sticking out that you can kind of like cling to, like by a finger.
Yeah.
And one time this guy had one, and so what you do is you like pile your fingers, you pile your index and your ring finger over your middle finger and use that as like a hook or a weight to hold your, take weight off of. And he like ripped his finger on that little pebble that he was like hanging on. And I was just like, physics, like the inch per, pounds per square inch, like all things are run by that stupid law of like you can only have so much pressure per whatever.
Right. Like if it's, what was that, season 5 of The Walking Dead? If your car is a certain length and it falls off of a bridge, and from the bridge to the ground is only a certain length, the car can't flip and
Multiple
land.
times?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't fucking... It's too hot.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
My brain is cooked. It's basically scrambled eggs.
I feel like when it was hot when I was younger, I could still function in some way. But now, I don't know if it's just when I wish when I got fat, like I would just get fat equally, so I would just be kind of fat. But like if you just look at me like shoulders up, it's fine. You like waist down, looks totally normal. I just have this like pregnant bread belly. I just look like a pregnant dude. It's like, like the guy at the bar that has turned 30 and it looks pregnant. I am now that dude. I have made that transition. And the heat doesn't help because I try to wear a baggy shirt and kind of like hunch over to hide that shit.
Right.
And when it's all hot, it just clings to it. I go to the maternity ward for clothes, maybe. Just embrace it.
You should, or just get a t-shirt that says cirrhotic liver. Keep it dark, kids. Keep it dark. But yeah, so I always think of that bouldering thing whenever I think about body physics. So it's like, which really kind of ruins a lot of cool things for me. I'm like, oh, that person could never do that because that is physically, not just like human physicality impossible, but the laws of physics impossible. And that sucks.
Apparently bullets can't go through water.
No, not very well. And the larger the caliber, the more they like shatter, and the deeper they can't
like
go.
they only go in like 4 inches and then they just kind of stop. So my question is, how bad would it hurt if you put like 2 inches of water above your hand and then shot a bullet into it? Because it would still hit you,
Right.
But it'd be going half as fast, right, or whatever as it normally would.
I think parts of it would still probably enter you depending on how deep. Because like 2 inches, I don't know if that's.
I mean, I don't know what the amount is.
Isn't that cool though? I was thinking about that today or the other day while driving. Like the problem with
everything.
Well, problem with everything.
Sorry.
But the problem with like hitting speed, like light speed, is that like the faster you go, you hit a point where whatever you're hitting in front of you, whether that's like air molecules or whatever, causes the need for exploration, like for movement, like power-wise, to go up exponentially. So it just becomes a point where it doesn't matter how much power you're putting into it, because the more you're doing that,
you can't move through the air.
Yeah, you can't get through the.
But if you were
air,
in space, though,
possibly, but
because there's no.
But I think there's
resistance.
There's still the overall what's it called, the mass of the thing. So being able to move that much mass becomes the problem. I don't know.
I thought if you're in space, you don't need that much.
You don't need that much, but in order to get to a certain speed, I think you
still can't get to light speed.
Yeah.
All right.
Becomes impossible.
I didn't even do well in physics class. Science was always my. I feel like it ruins the fun to know too much.
Right.
At least that was my excuse.
It kind of does. I would say yes. I mean, isn't that why certain people don't follow politics, so they can be stupid and happy?
Hola Maria, ¿cómo estás?
So this one will still be up when the good people want to listen to it, but we had Monica DeMarco on the show.
Yeah.
We weren't
AKA Cthulhu.
We weren't always guest list.
Yeah. We had a guest a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
And we will have a guest next week, I believe. But I feel like every time we say that, something happens and we don't. So I may have just jinxed it. But I think we have a guest next week.
Well, what we should do is we should just always say it, so then it doesn't matter, because then we probably will sometime.
Yeah. Or never say it. Either way.
I'm going to heaven. And I'm going to keep saying that till I die. And then if I don't, doesn't matter, because I was going there anyway. Or something. I don't know.
I guess that sounds.
I don't know how that works.
Logical.
I'm not sure how that works.
Anyway, what are we playing? Some kind of song by Monica?
Yeah, she's in a band called Chicharra.
Yeah.
So I think I did one too many rolls for a number of R's.
That sounded perfect. Don't be so hard on yourself.
But yeah, they're a cool band. She's in it with her sister and a couple of other local music veterans, and the song is called Are You?
And there's a video right now.
Yeah.
If you go on the YouTube and type Chicharra, which is CHICHARRA.
Yep.
And you'll find this video for Are You. It features an aerialist, acrobatic type performer. It's pretty fucking sweet.
It's awesome.
Check it out. This is Are You by Chicharra, and we'll talk to you more in a minute, or a couple minutes. Okay.
Isn't that why certain people don't follow politics, so they can be stupid and happy?
That's how I feel. I mean, I've kind of consciously made that decision.
Yeah.
I just can't fucking. If I follow politics, or I start reading about,
who's running
9/11 again,
yeah.
My life's ruined. Everywhere I look, I'm just it's the Illuminati, and I just can't take it. I don't want to know what Hillary Clinton's done.
Yeah.
Vaguely knowing that she's a criminal and she's gonna win, it's fine.
But it's not even the only thing that just drives me crazy is that okay, so at this point since 1988, it's been Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Clinton again, and it's it's not even a question anymore. This is an oligarchy.
It's Coke or Pepsi.
Hardcore right now. It's complete and total oligarchy. You can't the people that are still voting for the really terrible candidate, because there's even a worse candidate than her, but the people that are voting for that and are sitting there being we're gonna change things, they are so far delusional, that they still that not only are they gonna pick the worst thing, but they also still think that it matters. They're not gonna.
I don't
your theory of well, of course when Obama won, they sat him down in the room and had to talk to him.
Well, that's not my theory so much as
I
believe it was a Bill Hicks thing.
Oh, okay.
They sit you down in a smoky room and show you an angle of the JFK assassination that no one's ever seen before, and then they say, "Any questions?" And the new president-elect says, "Yeah, what are my policies?"
Yeah, right. I always thought about, this is how it's run. This is what's good. And this is what you don't do.
Please tell me my agenda.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so those people are so far delusional that it's not even trying to talk sense to them. It is almost like a moot point. But yeah, like it's so bald face obvious at this point. Like there's just no way you can go around being like, we're greatest democracy ever. Like, no, we're not. Stop. Shh.
What if we went like Rome style with it? I think Rome did Rome did the lottery, or was that before Rome? Is it the Greece? They would do it was like a lottery senate. So you could it's like jury duty, except it's being a senator.
Oh, wow.
So you just get picked, and then you have to go represent your district.
Oh, that'd be fun.
As just a citizen for a year or whatever, and you get to make the votes. Like,
cool. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I mean, but you've driven, you want those people? We
already have those people. We have Louis Gohmert and fucking Rick Scott, and those guys are even worse because, like, someone like Rick Scott or Mitch McConnell, they're like worth a lot of fucking money. You know? Yeah, I'd rather have some dumb fuck. At least if the dumb fuck, poor ass dumb fuck is there, I know that they're just fucking things up because they're dumb.
Right.
As opposed to just like evil.
Right.
Like fucking evil people.
That's a good point.
I mean, at this point, if you're going to do bad, you might as well do bad accidentally than on purpose.
If they're dumb but honest, there's a chance that they'll stumble ass backwards into doing something helpful.
Maybe they can still be shamed into behaving correctly,
or they'll just fuck up in a way that works out. Whereas the way it's run now, it's pure concentrated evil deciding how to further fuck us over.
Yeah.
So there's really no way that's going to work out in the favor of the people.
Right. Because like the funniest thing is, did I say this last week? Is like how these people are like, oh, we should just vote for the worst candidate to like, just to burn the fucker down. We're just gonna burn it down. And it's like, yeah, but that's not gonna hurt like the people you wanted to hurt at all. It's just gonna hurt a bunch of poor people. Like at the end of the day,
right?
Like I guess if you want poor people to start like being violent, we can go that way, I guess. Like because that's like the thing. Like no matter what, in a society, that's what sucks is you're gonna have to pay for the people who like just can't work in the society, whether that's like a mental issue or like purposefully, you know, or like just rebellious. So you either got prisons or you got charity or you got, I guess you'd say like taxes or whatever. But, you know, some way you end up having to pay for them because shit's going to happen. And at least if you're giving somebody something, there's a less likely chance that they'll go steal. Now, I'm not saying people won't do that. People do that all the time. I like doing hood rat stuff with my friends.
To me, I could be convinced of either a free market argument or a complete socialist argument.
Right.
I could go either way in a vacuum.
Yeah.
But either way, people are going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking care. I didn't sign up for this. I was just shot out of a pussy into the world. I don't know. To me, making the best of it is just getting through the day.
Hey, guess how many people I shot today? None. Woo!
Right.
Yay. No. And I think like a lot of people feel like that, which makes this election interesting because they want to get all excited about it as if like voting one person in is going to make all the difference in the world.
It's so silly.
And we won't pay attention to all the other times when we need to pay attention to it, like during congressional and senatorial times, which is when they should, if people are disappointed, just like take that disappointment egg, put it in a fucking nest, and then, like, you know, sit on it. And next time when something's going to happen...
It's a dog and pony show.
It is pretty dog and pony.
I don't really know what that is supposed to mean. I mean, I know what it's supposed to mean. I don't know why it means what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
Dog and pony show. But it's just every 4 years, we're all going to have this big festival of media that makes it seem like any of this is real.
It's like political Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the Super Bowl. Except the Super Bowl, at least maybe parts of it are rigged, but you still have to like throw and catch the ball and run. There's still laws of physics. That's what I'm saying is that like sports are more legitimate than politics, because politics is pro wrestling, scripted. At least like in sports, even if it's scripted and like even if the NBA is fixed, they still have to like throw the ball into the hole. They still have to make it look convincing.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still have to know how to do the shit.
You have to prove your shit.
Yeah, just
Also, if you've got money going in sports, that's all you lose. If you lose in politics, it can be pretty ugly. Like an Iraq war, ugly. Or like Afghanistan, which is the longest.
But that's the thing, is that the
conflict.
folks running things, all they're seeing it is in terms of money.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just monopoly.
It shouldn't be about that.
Yeah, they're just playing Monopoly with our lives, you know?
At least somebody's getting some enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
Out of my life.
I'm working on Baltic Avenue or whatever.
Said no slave or Chinese non-unionized worker ever.
Yeah, so a lot of folks out there, they'll see like, libertarians, they seem all right.
You were telling me this.
They're like, they're like Republicans in the way that they want to be like financially sensible, but then they're like open socially, like they don't hate gay people and stuff. It sounds great.
They're like, you can get pegged while smoking weed.
Found out it was pretty much founded by the Koch brothers. In 1980, the VP candidate of the Libertarian Party was one of the
Koch
two
brothers
Koch
homies?
guys. Yeah. It was actually one of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so that pretty much like is what brought the money into the party and started what we now know as the Libertarians. So they're total bullshit.
I mean, you saw how they tried to usurp the. I'm like a little blurry on the roots of the Tea Party.
Yeah.
But you've been pretty adamant that they were like a grassroots thing. But
it seemed to start that way.
And they definitely did get co-opted by, I think it was the Koch brothers too.
Right. I call it bell bottoms at the Gap, right? It's when it's Master P and the artist formerly known as Puff Daddy, whatever he's called this week.
Yeah.
It's like you take something that's like fucking punk rock, or you take like the hippie movement, and then you sell it at the Gap, and it's fucking over because you can't compete with that once the posers become the mainstream. It's like hipsters is the ultimate death of art because it's all just irony. There's no traction.
There's no sincerity or
there's nowhere to go. All you can do is make snide comments and look around to hope that no one else around you is taking anything seriously, so you're still cool. That's all you can do. It's over.
Right.
Society's fucked. I don't even know where I was going with my previous sentence, but hopefully that all made sense. I can't. Now this is what I say. I can't talk about this shit. I just get angry.
It's good. Use that anger to make some art, or
I don't
play some video games really well.
Yeah, So I'm trying to get the Twitch channel going.
Yeah.
And clearly I'm not going to be good enough where people are going to want to watch because I'm good, because I'm just not.
Right.
But I figure if I complain about the libertarians while I play video games.
I was going to say, I think if you do that, I think if you come up with really good, if you're just like, oh, you fucking money hungry fascist prick, as you like insult people, people would watch that.
Yeah.
People like creative insults.
Right.
Why not?
And it's probably just me deluding myself into making an excuse not to make art. But what I'm telling myself right now is that if I spend a bunch of money on a PC rig so that I can broadcast on Twitch, I can do a creative channel where I actually broadcast making paintings and drawings and then give them away during like video game channels.
Yeah.
Like give away a little piece, like have people like
even if you
buy
don't,
raffle tickets.
Even
or
if you don't want to do a full thing like that, like a whole nother channel, you could do like time lapse as the piece comes together.
Right, and then just put the video up on.
That'll make
channel.
that'll make some nipples hard.
I'm trying to like convince myself that like spending a bunch of money I shouldn't spend on a new computer is actually gonna make me do art again. It's fucking ridiculous.
But here's the thing.
What if I'm right?
Are you having fun?
Oh, no, never.
Well, then that's all that matters.
There's no further chance of fun. I gave up on that like years ago.
I know somebody was asking me like, what do you want out of life? What makes you happy? And I'm like, I don't think happiness is a good metric. I don't think that's a good metric.
It's not really attainable.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be like satisfied or like, happy. I'll be like, how about not blowing things up? How about that?
Asking someone in our society what makes you happy is like asking a kid in Somalia what their favorite brand of Twinkie is or something.
I thought it was more like asking which orifice is their favorite at an orgy. Like,
right.
It's like there's a lot of them. I don't know all of them, any of them, like none of them. Yeah. So, because you're at an orgy, and if you're at an orgy, it's probably not your first time. And by this point, you've probably gotten bored. Or the kid in Somalia is just like, I just want water so I don't die.
He's like, what's your favorite brand of hot dog, kid in Somalia? And the kid in Somalia goes, what the fuck is a hot dog? Do you have food or not?
Is this plate?
Because I'm dying here.
I want to eat that.
Anyway, it's been the problem with everything. I have nothing more to say.
Have fun, and pick a Twinkie. Yeah. There we go.
Pick a Twinkie?
See you next week.
All right. Well, bye.
Oh. Hey, I'd like to end this episode on a positive note. HIV. That's the worst.
That's always confusing. I feel like that joke's kind of like on the verge of overdone, where it's like when you say that like the test came back positive. Oh, good. No, that's not good. Wait, wouldn't it be negative if it wasn't? Yeah.
If it wasn't good?
Yeah, that whole thing. Anyway, that was a podcast episode.
It happens sometimes. At least you got to hear some music, and yeah.
If you made it this far, I fucking love you.
Yeah, you're of a hardy stock.
Yeah, you are a titan among mere mortals if you have made it to the end of this podcast.
You're like the Clydesdales of listeners.
Yeah, send me an email at lokisapfoot@gmail.com if you've made it this far and say the secret code word, which is eggplant. You email me the word eggplant and I will send you something very special.
I am the Eggman.
Eggplant.
Oh. Wow.
Cuckoo Cachoo.
I am the walrus. But we were the walrus one time. In fact, I think the memory came up like the other day. The memory. I hate that shit. But when we got invited to go play Warped Tour.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. That was rough. Speaking of the heat.
Oh, it was hot.
I remember getting dizzy on stage because I didn't always just stand around playing guitar. I used to like jump and run and be stupid.
I believe we closed with Blood Song, and during the screaming on Blood Song, I almost threw up on the microphone.
Wow.
I was gagging, which sounded pretty cool. Yeah, but I almost puked, and it was weird because they gave us cans of Monster, and they're like, "Oh, I need water." They're like, "That is water.
It's gonna replace the water in me," and it was water.
It was water.
Cans.
Yeah, it was just like a Monster can, except real small under the logo. It said Tour Water, which I'm pretty sure meant tap water.
Right.
A Monster can. So that way, all the kids from afar, they can't tell that you're drinking water.
They're just like, he's so extreme. Yeah!
It's like the old trick where they would drink like apple juice or whatever on stage.
Right. For like, beer or
for like hard liquor to make it.
Yeah.
It's like Dean Martin. It's like, no, he wasn't that drunk every night.
Right.
Just most nights.
Just afterwards.
Dean Martin. That's a timely reference. All right. Let's close this podcast before I keep talking.
I'm glad you didn't go with Axl Rose. I would have dated us so terribly. Hey there.
Axl Rose. They're back together, I hear.
Yeah. I don't know. I was showing someone the video Purple Rain, November Rain, and it was like when they were at their height. Just millions of dollars and just a bunch of dirtbag LA rockers in the big time. So yeah, it was like that. But we missed that awfulness. But we still got to taste some of the fruits, the sweet fruits. And this is a song called Mission Translation.
This song is about the mission of art being translating your innermost whatever the fuck to the outermost whatever the fuck, so people can get some sort of glimpse into your innermost whatever the fuck.
The communicating the enigmatic self.
Yeah. Saying the unspeakable, which it turns out you can't do, and art is bullshit. Here's a song, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Oh.